Hey everybody, I'm back again with another deck profile. This time we're going to cover, it's a deck that I made for this channel, but I actually never have gotten to use it in actual duel on the channel, so this is the first time you guys are seeing this deck. Yeah, this is my first attempt at a more defensive deck. This is just a 40 card deck. I don't usually go only 40 cards, but this deck I don't feel is terribly good. It has some of my favorite cards in the whole game in it, so I was happy to make this deck, I guess. To start, we have one copy of Super Junior Confrontation. What this card does is you can negate an attack by your opponent's monster, and it forces their weakest attack monster to attack your monster in defense mode with the lowest defense points. It's a bit limiting in that regard, I suppose, given that you need to have a face-up defense position monster on the field to activate it, and probably a face-up attack position monster too to even resolve it. So yeah. But yeah, it's a very good defensive card. I always really love when Jaden used it in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime. Next card is a copy of One Shattered Axe. What Shattered Axe does is you select one face monster on the field, and while this card is on the field, decrease the attack of that monster by 500 points during each of your standby phases. And when the monster is destroyed, this card is also destroyed. So a very simple, just continuous card effect. Like most continuous cards, if the the effect is destroyed, this card is also destroyed. So yeah, but I really like its effect. It's more useful for stalling purposes, but I don't know. It's nice. Next is a copy of Battle of the Elements. This trap card is you can only activate it when all monsters on the field are face up, and both you and your opponents send monsters to the graveyard so that you each only control one attribute. I'm not really sure why I put this in here. It's not terribly useful. It can have some uses, I guess. Next card is one of my favorite trap cards, Magic Arm Shield. I wish this card worked like it did in the anime, but it sadly doesn't. Like if you select a weaker monster to grab with the arm shield, you'll still be taking the damage, which really stinks. When Joey used it to steal Weevil's Insect Soldiers of the Sky, Weevil took all the damage from Insect Queen's attack, so maybe that's a little broken, but with how broken, like, a lot of cards are these days, I don't think that kind of effect would be too bothersome, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, you kind of have to know what you're doing with the real life version of Magic Arm Shield. But other than that, I love this card. Obsidian Dragon. He can negate. Uh, he can negate magic and trap cards that target exactly one dark type monster and destroy them. He has a very solid 2100 defense points, 800 attack. So yeah, Forgiving Maiden. Serenity really used this card, and she is my all-time favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character ever, so I had to include her. Forgiving Maiden's effect is just that You can offer this face up card as a tribute and return one of your monsters destroyed by battle this turn to your hand. Not terribly useful. Like it's very niche. And in this deck, the need for this deck to go on the offensive is very low, so the odds of losing a monster during like my turn pretty unlikely, depending on what deck I'm facing, I guess. But I don't know, her 2000 defense is very strong. Next, we got Oni Tank T34 with a solid 1400 attack, 1700 defense points. Next, we got Yusei Fudo's classic Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I don't know why my mouth made an L sound there. You can only activate this card when your opponent declares an attack. Then you can negate the card, and then you can reset Scrap Iron Scarecrow face down. Imagine that what Scrap Iron Scarecrow doesn't necessarily like say on the card, but because you're resetting it, it's like you're replaying it, so you can't use it again that turn. Next is Koribo. You can discard him. Negate. I believe it's just like one instance of bow damage to 0. Always a great card. My body is a my body is a shield. When a monster you control would be just when a monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can pay 1500 life points and basically negate the activation of the card and destroy it. I think both Raphael and Valen used this card actually. Pretty useful if you can spare life points. Next we got 2 copies of the Reliable Guardian, one of my favorite defensive quick play spells. Actually got a copy, one copy that classifies it as a magic card, and one copy that classifies it as a spell card. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. A quick play spell. Select one. Increase one monster's defense by 700 points during this card's activated. It's very nice. And 2 other decks I'm working on right now in this deck, it's just I don't know. It's also a pretty nice card, given that a lot of my cards have high defense points. So there's a lot of like I don't know reflective damage in this deck, which I love. The next card we got is Stray Asmodian, and when he's sent to the graveyard, both players gain. When he's sent to the graveyard by battle, both players regain 800 life points. His defense is 1700, which is why I put him in this deck. Another quick play spell, Pyramid Energy. With Pyramid Energy, you can increase either the attack of all face monsters on your field by 200 points until the end phase, or increase the defense points of all face monsters on your field by 500 points until the end of the turn. Yeah. Usually with this deck, I'm probably going to increase the defense by 500. I have really no need for attacking in this deck. Speaking of attacking, Gift of the Martyr. You can select one monster. You can send one monster on your field to the graveyard and select one monster on your side of the field and increase the attack of the selected monster by the amount equal to the attack of the sent monster until the end of the turn. So, if this deck had a need for attacking, Here's a card to help it out, I guess. I don't know why I actually put this card in here. Maybe a combo of Pure Manager's first effect. Sequala has a nice 1600 defense points. Once per turn, if you control a beast type monster, you can reduce the attack of one monster your opponent controls to 0 until the end phase. I don't think I have a use for the effect in this deck, so I just really put it on here because I like the card and his defense is pretty nice. One copy of Miniaturize. Select one monster with 1,000 or more original attack and loses 1,000 attack and its level is reduced by 1. When this monster is removed from the field, destroy this card. So yeah, just a very defensive card. This time reducing the opponent's points. Shield Spear. It increases attack and defense by 400 until the end of the turn. Gorgon's Eye. It doesn't do what it does in anime, sadly, and that's basically defense vision monsters that are destroyed. They'll have half of their defense points deducted from their one's life points. That's a much better effect than they got in the actual card game, which is just till the end of the turn, the effects of effect monsters on the field and defense position are negated. Next, another Pegasus card. The 5 level 2200 defense point Illusionist Faceless Mage. I love this card. It's creepy, but I love it. I wish they printed I've Illusion. Next we have Sculpt Ice. Roll die, decrease the attack of an attacking monster by the level times 100 points. Again, not nearly as powerful as it was in the anime. The Gross Ghost Fled Dreams, nice 1800 defense points. Now we got a Throwstone unit with a nice 2000 defense points. His effect works with warriors, which this deck has approximately 4 of, counting him. And you can offer a warrior type monster on your side of the field as a tribute to destroy one face-up monster on the field whose defense is equal or lower than the attack of this monster. Unless I combo it with Gift of the Martyr or Pyramid Energy, the max attack I'm destroying with him is 900 points. Dragon Piper, another Pegasus card. His defense is 1800, so he's a very nice defender. His effect destroys a dragon capture jar. I wish that worked like it did in the anime, or Pegasus used it to, summon the dragon to his field that was sealed in the capture jar, but it doesn't. So, yeah. Very nice card, though. Reverse Trap. All increases and decreases to attack and defense burns are reversed during the turn this card is activated. A very nice card if the opponent has any equip cards. I can even combo it with something like Rush Recklessly, which would increase attack by 700 points. The next card is Twin Shield Defender, which I believe was used by Jack Atlas. 700 attack, 1600 defense. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can halve the current attack of a face-up monster your opponent controls until the end phase. Nice. Now we have Ancient Lamp, um, who basically does what the anime version of Magical Arm Shield does. His defense is only 1400, and his effect only works really when he is flipped from being face down. So, not flip effect, by the way, but yeah, I don't have any Book of Moon in this deck to really recycle his effect, but yeah, for the one turn you get with it, it's pretty nice. Now we have a big boy, Destiny Hero Defender with a nice 2700 defense points. His effect is, if this card is in defense position during your opponent's standby phase, your opponent draws one card. I guess I really don't care about giving my opponent an extra draw if this guy can protect me and do his job. So, yeah. Now we have Castle Walls. Just very classic defense card. Increase the defense of a monster by 500 points during the turn this card is activated. Team Taio actually used this card in the 5D's anime. I love them. I love Taro, especially. Um, say Castle Walls. Another really good defender, Gyroid. He can basically take uh, one attack without being destroyed. His stats are only 1,000 defense points, so not terribly useful, but yeah, I like him for his durability, I guess. Next we have another 5-star monster, Trent. He has 1,800 defense points. Now we have a monster that can actually work with Sequala, Prevent Rat. I have this card in my deck on Yu-Gi-Oh! Number Troubadour, actually. He has a nice, solid 2,000 defense points. Healing Wave Generator, 1,600 defense points. And what it does is, on your turn, you can select a monster in your field and increase your life points by 100 points times the monster's level. So yeah, a very good defensive card right here. And a card to recover life points. Next we got another 2K defender in Spirit of the Harp. 1,800 defense points, Cyber Gymnast. And on your turn, once per turn, you can discard a card from your hand to destroy one face-up attack position monster in your opponent's on the field. I love Cyber Gymnast. I love Alexis's deck. All 3 decks she uses, really, including the manga. Her rituals are badass. Another 2K defender with Island Turtle. I like reptiles. Giant Soldier Stone, another 2K defender. Now we got Yusei Fudo's classic Shield Warrior coming in with 1,600 defense points. And during damage calculation, you can remove this card from your graveyard to prevent monsters you control from being destroyed in battle. So, yeah, a very nice defensive monster. And finally, last card in this deck, she is not a warrior, but from the look of her, but she's actually a machine. It's Nano Breaker with 1,600 attack and 1,800 defense points. and her effect is if this card attacks a level 3 or lower monster, destroy that monster without applying damage calculation. So, not sure I'd actually use her unless I comboed her with something like, I don't know, Pyramid Energy or Gift of the Martyr, but yeah. Or like Shield Spear, but yeah, she is very useful. Her not being a warrior, though, would kind of mess up her synergy with, like, Throwstone unit, so I couldn't use that combo, I guess. But yeah, this is my defensive deck. Uh, I plan on making another one someday. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of it, and I'll be back soon with another deck profile, hopefully in time for Valentine's Day and more before that. So, have a great day. See ya.